Mantras of our Divine Mother, date 7th January. Our Divine Mother says, two things you must never forget: Sri Aurobindo's compassion and the Mother's love. And it is with these two things that you will go on fighting steadily, patiently, until the enemies are definitely routed and the victory is won forever. Courage outside, peace inside, and a quiet, unshakable trust in the Divine's grace. With my blessing, says our Divine Mother. Words of Sri Aurobindo from the book Life Divine. Topic: A Mind of Light. Our Lord Sri Aurobindo says, a radical transformation of the mind can act as the linchpin of the supramental action on earth. The mind currently is wedded to the material and vital consciousness and does their bidding. If a shift in focus can be accomplished, whereby the mind realizes its subordinate and secondary status to the supermind and finds its direction from there, it could become an instrument of progress, a mind of light, using its power of influence and action on the vital and material planes. It could act to infuse the higher light into these levels, thus changing the way we respond and the way our bodies respond to the evolutionary impetus. Sri Aurobindo writes, this is the possibility we have to examine. If it is destined to fulfill itself, if man is not doomed to remain always as a vessel of the ignorance, the disabilities of the human mind on which we have dwelt are not such as must remain irremediably in possession and binding forever. It could develop higher means and instrumentalities, pass over the last borders of the ignorance into a higher knowledge, grow too strong to be held back by the animal nature. They would be a liberated mind, escaping from ignorance into light, aware of its affiliation to supermind, a natural agent of supermind, and capable of bringing down the supramental influence into the lower reaches of being, a creator in light, a discoverer in the depths, an illuminant in the darkness, helping perhaps to penetrate even the inconscient with the rays of a secret superconscience. They would be a new mental being, not only capable of standing enlightened in the radiance of the supermind, but able to climb consciously towards it and into it, training life and body to reflect and hold something of the supramental light, power, and bliss, aspiring to release the secret divinity into self-finding and self-fulfillment and self-poise, aspiring towards the ascension to the divine consciousness, able to receive and bear the descent of the divine light and power, fitting itself to be a vessel of the divine light. The Mind of Life under the Life Divine is under Supermind and Humanity, page 81 and 82. Next topic, protection against illnesses. This is from the Collective Works of our Divine Mother, Volume 3, page 47, subtopic, The material body is a protection. Our Divine Mother says the human being is at home and safe in the material body. The body is his protection. There are some who are full of contempt for their bodies and think that things will be much better and easier after death without them. But in fact, the body is your fortress and your shelter. While you are lodged in it, the forces of the hostile world find a difficulty in getting any direct hold upon you. What are nightmares? These are your sorties into the vital world. And what is the first thing you try to do when you are in a grip of a nightmare? You rush back into your body and shake yourself into your normal physical consciousness. But in the world of the vital forces, you are a stranger. It is uncharted sea in which you have neither compass nor rudder. You don't know how to go, you do not know where to go, and at each step you do just the opposite of what should be done. Directly you enter any realm of this world, its being gather around you and want to encompass and get out of you all you have to draw what they can and make it a food and a prey. If you have no strong light and force radiating from within you, you move there without your body as if you had no coat to protect you against a chill and bleak atmosphere, no house to shield you, even no skin covering you, your nerves exposed and bare. There are men, says our Divine Mother. There are men who say, "Oh, how unhappy I am in this body," and think of death as an escape. But after death, you have the same vital surroundings and are in danger from the same forces that are the cause of your misery in this life. The dissolution of the body forces you out into the open spaces of the vital world, and you have no longer a defense. There is not the physical body any longer to rush you back to safety. Next subtopic: inner condition and attack of illness. Our Divine Mother says your inner condition becomes a cause of illness when there is a resistance or revolt in it, when there is some part of you that does not respond to the protection, and even there may be something there that almost willingly and willfully calls in the adverse forces. It is enough if there is a slight movement of this kind in you, the hostile forces are at once upon you, and their attack takes often the form of illness. Our Divine Mother says the possibility of illness are always there in your body and around you. You carry within you, or they swarm about you, the microbes and the germs of every disease. How is it that all of a sudden you succumb to an illness which you did not have for years? You will say it was due to a depression of the vital force. But from where does the depression come? It comes from some disharmony in the being, from a lack of receptivity to the divine forces. When you cut yourself off from the energy and the light of the divine that sustain you, then there is this depression. There is created what medical science calls a favorable ground, and something takes advantage of it. It is doubt, gloominess, lack of confidence, a selfish turning back upon yourself that cuts you off from the divine light and divine energy and gives the attack this advantage. It is this that is the cause of your falling ill and not the microbes. This is from the Collective Works of Our Divine Mother, Volume 3, page 55. Next subtopic: give your body time to follow and assimilate. Our Divine Mother says, in the ordinary life of a man, a progressive dissolution or a dislocation. In the ordinary life of man, a progressive dislocation is the rule. The mental and the vital beings of man follow as best they can the movement of the universal forces, and the stream of the world's inner transformation evolution carries them a certain way. But the body is bound to the law of the most material nature, moves very slowly. After years, 70 or 80 or 100, then perhaps is the maximum. This dislocation is so serious that the outer being falls to pieces. The divergence between the demand and the answer, the increasing inability and irresponsiveness of the body, brings about the phenomenon of death. But by yoga, the inner transformation that is in a slow, constant process in creation is rendered more intense and rapid. But the pace of the outer transformation remains almost the same as in the ordinary life. As a result, the disharmony between the inner and the outer being in one who is doing yoga tends to be all the greater unless precautions are taken and a protection secured that will help the body to follow the inner march as closely as possible. Even then, it is the very nature of the body to hold you back. It is for this reason that to many we are obliged to say, do not pull, do not hurry, you must give your body time to follow. Some have to be kept back even for years and not allowed to do much or progress far. Sometimes to avoid the disequilibrium becomes impossible. Then you have a disturbance which varies according to the nature of the resistance and the measure of the care you have taken to your negligence. This too is the reason why each time that there is a strong movement of progress, it is almost invariably followed by a period of immobility, which seems to those who are not warned a spell of dullness and stagnation and discouragement in which all progress is stopped, and they think anxiously, what is the matter? Am I losing time? Nothing is being done. But the truth is that is the time needed for assimilation, a pause made for the body to open itself more and more receptive, approach nearer to the level attained by the inner consciousness. Says our Divine Mother, Volume 3 from the Collective Works of our Divine Mother, page 87. Our Divine Mother says there are some petals kept inside the blessing packets. They are charged with force. If you keep them upon you, the contact with me is kept. So if you refer inside, you can establish the contact and have an answer for your question. Our Divine Mother says, let him keep this envelope in the pocket and look at the picture when one feels depressed. These are the words of our Lord Aurobindo and our Divine Mother.